There's a quiet truth about aging that almost no one dares to say out loud, not because it's cruel, but because it's uncomfortable. As we grow older, our habits, words, and little daily behaviors can start to change the way others feel around us. Sometimes, without realizing it, we do things that make people uneasy, even the ones who love us most. It's never out of bad intentions. It's just the slow, invisible side of aging that no one teaches us about. How to stay emotionally graceful while our bodies and routines change. Today, we'll talk honestly about 12 habits many older adults fall into without noticing, and how to gently replace them with habits that bring warmth, dignity, and deeper connection. And if you care about growing wiser, not just older, subscribe to Wisdom in Old Age. Your journey toward graceful aging begins right here. Conversations like this are never easy, because no one wants to be told that something they're doing might make others uncomfortable. But the truth is, many of these ugly habits don't come from bad manners or arrogance. They come from something much deeper: loneliness, pain, and the quiet fear of being forgotten. Think about someone you might know. Maybe a kind old neighbor who used to laugh easily, but over the years started pushing people away without meaning to. The visits became shorter, the smiles less frequent, and soon people stopped dropping by. Not because they stopped caring, but because they didn't know how to handle the constant complaints, the corrections, or the bitterness that slowly crept in. These habits form slowly, almost invisibly. Aging brings loss of health, of control, of people we once leaned on. And sometimes those losses harden into habits we can't even see in ourselves. But here's the good news. Self-awareness is a form of dignity. The moment you recognize what's happening, you take back the power to change it. This video isn't about judgment, it's about understanding, compassion, and small shifts that help you stay close to the people who truly matter. Because growing older gracefully isn't about hiding your age. It's about keeping your heart open while you do. Ugly habit number 1, constant complaining about health. It's completely natural to talk about your health. After all, it's a big part of daily life as we age. But when every conversation turns into a list of aches, pains, and doctor visits, something quiet happens. People begin to pull away. Not because they don't care, but because they start to feel helpless, as if nothing they say can make a difference. Many older adults don't even realize they're doing it. Talking about pain can be a way to seek comfort, reassurance, or simply to feel heard. But when it becomes the center of every interaction, it slowly drains the warmth out of relationships. Instead of saying, "Everything hurts," try sharing it differently. "I've been having some health struggles lately, but I'm managing." That one phrase shifts the tone. It invites empathy without demanding emotional rescue. You deserve to be heard and supported. But when you balance honesty with optimism, people will feel safe staying close, not out of obligation, but out of genuine care. Ugly habit number 2. Correcting everyone's behavior or speech with age comes wisdom, and a lifetime of experience can make it tempting to correct others when they make a mistake. Maybe someone mispronounces a word, tells a story slightly wrong, or does something in a way you wouldn't. You mean well when you step in. It feels like you're helping. But to others, those small corrections can feel like control, or worse, quiet criticism. This habit often comes from a good place. After decades of responsibility, it's hard to let go of the instinct to guide and protect. You've seen what works and what doesn't, and it's natural to want others to avoid the same mistakes. But constant correction doesn't always teach. Sometimes it just shuts people down. Instead of jumping in to fix every detail, try choosing your moments of wisdom carefully. Save your advice for when it truly matters, when it can protect, comfort, or inspire. When you speak less but with intention, your words carry more weight. People remember the voices that guide them gently, not the ones that make them feel small. Wisdom is most powerful when it feels like kindness, not correction. Ugly habit number 3. Talking only about the good old days. There's something deeply comforting about remembering the past, the music, the laughter, the faces that once filled your world. The good old days hold a special kind of peace. But when every conversation drifts back there, it can quietly build a wall between you and the present. You may not notice it, But constant nostalgia can make younger people feel that nothing in today's world measures up, that their lives, struggles and joys don't matter as much. It's not that your memories aren't valuable. It's that they need to be shared in a way that invites others in, not shuts them out. Try blending your stories with curiosity. Back in my day, we did it this way. How do you do it now? That one question turns a monologue into a bridge between generations. It keeps the conversation alive, not frozen in time. Your memories are treasures, but they shine brightest when they help connect hearts, not just to what was, but to what still is. Ugly habit number 4, interrupting or talking over. Others, it often happens without meaning to. You're in the middle of a conversation, and before the other person finishes their thought, you jump in. Maybe you fear you'll forget what you wanted to say, or perhaps you've spent so many years needing to speak up just to be heard. But when interruptions become frequent, they send an unintended message. My voice matters more than yours. For many older adults, this habit grows from something emotional, the quiet fear of being left out, of not being listened to in a world that moves too fast. Yet the irony is that interrupting makes others listen less. The most powerful way to be heard isn't by speaking faster, it's by listening deeper. Try pausing for a heartbeat after someone finishes talking. Let their words rest in the air before you respond. That small silence shows patience, confidence, and respect. When you allow space for others to speak, your own words begin to carry more meaning. True wisdom doesn't need to rush. It speaks, and others naturally lean in to hear it. Ugly habit, number 5. Complaining about young people these days. It's one of the most common phrases heard across generations. Young people these days. Often followed by sighs about how things used to be better, simpler, or more respectful. While it may feel harmless or even justified, this habit quietly builds walls between generations instead of bridges. Every era has its strengths and flaws. The truth is, today's young people are growing up in a world that's faster, louder, and more demanding than ever before. Their values, language, and lifestyles are shaped by pressures that didn't exist decades ago. When older adults only criticize, younger people stop listening, and what could have been a connection becomes a divide. Instead of judging, try asking questions. Ask what drives them, what challenges them, what gives them hope. When curiosity replaces criticism, something beautiful happens. Mutual respect grows. And that respect keeps your wisdom alive, passed down not through lectures, but through understanding. Being open to learning from the young doesn't mean giving up your values. It means showing that wisdom isn't stuck in time. It adapts, listens, and keeps growing. Ugly habit. 6. Refusing. Any kind of help for many older adults, refusing help feels like protecting dignity. After a lifetime of working hard, raising families, and solving problems alone, accepting assistance can feel like admitting weakness. But here's the hidden truth. When you push away help, you don't just protect your pride, you unintentionally shut others out. Family and friends offer help not because they think you're incapable, but because they want to feel useful and close to you. When you say, "No, I've got it," again and again, it can quietly hurt them. It sends the message that their care isn't needed, and that can make loved ones feel helpless or even unwanted. True independence isn't about doing everything alone. It's about knowing when to share the load. The next time someone offers a hand, try saying, "I'd appreciate your help. Thank you for caring." Those simple words keep relationships warm and balanced. Accepting. Help doesn't make you less strong. It reminds everyone that love and strength are meant to be shared, not hidden behind pride. Ugly habit. Number 7. Oversharing private family matters. We've all met someone who shares every family problem with neighbors, friends, or even strangers at the grocery store. While it might feel like harmless venting, oversharing private matters can quietly damage the relationships that mean the most. When personal stories become public, loved ones may feel exposed, embarrassed, or even betrayed, especially when those details spread beyond control. For many older adults, oversharing comes from loneliness or a deep need to feel understood. Talking about family issues can seem like a way to connect. But what often happens is the opposite. Family members pull away, trust weakens, and communication becomes guarded. Instead of turning private pain into public talk, try expressing feelings in a more personal way. Confide in one trusted person, write in a journal, or talk to a counselor or faith leader. These safe spaces help release emotion without causing harm. If you ever feel tempted to share something sensitive, pause and ask yourself, would I want someone saying this about me? Protecting your family's dignity strengthens the bond you share and shows the emotional maturity that only comes with wisdom and age. Ugly habit, 8. Being harsh with words. As people grow older, life's frustrations can quietly build up. Physical pain, memory lapses, or feeling ignored can all stir impatience. Without realizing it, that frustration can slip into our tone. A simple question from a loved one might trigger a sharp response, and before long, gentle moments turn into hurt feelings. Being harsh with words doesn't always come from anger. Often, it's pain speaking through fatigue or disappointment. But over time, this habit can make others hesitant to visit or open up. Children, caregivers, and even close friends start to tread carefully, afraid of saying the wrong thing. Gentleness, however, is a strength, not a weakness. Taking a breath before speaking, softening your tone, or simply pausing when emotions rise can change the entire direction of a conversation. If you find yourself snapping easily, remind yourself, it's not what I say, it's how I say it. Kind words have power. They invite love, patience, and understanding back into your circle. Even small efforts to speak with calmness can bring more peace into your relationships and more peace within yourself. Ugly habit number 9, neglecting. Personal hygiene or appearance. As we age, everyday routines like bathing, grooming, or changing clothes can start to feel like a burden. Aching joints, fatigue, or even mild depression can make self-care seem unnecessary, especially when there's no one around to notice. But here's the truth. Keeping yourself clean and well-presented isn't about vanity. It's about dignity. When an older person begins to neglect their hygiene, it sends quiet messages to others and to themselves. It can make loved ones worry, friends pull away, and self-esteem quietly fade. Yet, the act of caring for your body, washing your face, brushing your hair, putting on fresh clothes, reminds your mind that you still matter. You don't need to dress fancy or wear makeup to feel good. Start small: a fresh shower, clean clothes, a touch of perfume, or neatly combed hair. These simple steps can lift your mood, restore confidence, and even invite more warmth from those around you. Remember, self-care isn't selfish. It's a form of self-respect. And when you take care of yourself, others feel inspired to care with you. Not just for you. Ugly habit number 10, acting like a victim. All the time life isn't always kind, and by the time we reach our later years, we've all faced our share of heartbreak, disappointment, and unfairness. But when someone constantly speaks as though everything bad always happens to them, it slowly wears down the people who care. It's not that others don't sympathize. It's that constant negativity drains their emotional energy. This victim mindset often grows from deep pain, years of feeling unseen, unappreciated, or powerless. Many older adults start to believe that no one listens, so they express hurt again and again, hoping someone finally will. But sadly, it can have the opposite effect, pushing others away instead of bringing them closer. The gentle shift begins with gratitude. When you start to notice small blessings, a warm meal, a kind smile, a quiet morning, you reclaim your power. Gratitude doesn't erase pain, but it reminds you that not every moment is against you. Instead of saying, "Nothing ever goes right for me," try, "I'm thankful I still have today to make things better." It's a small change, but it can transform the way others see you and how you see yourself. Ugly habit 11. Gossiping or speaking negatively about others. With age often comes more free time, and with free time, conversations can easily drift into gossip. It might begin as harmless talk about neighbors, friends, or family, but when every discussion turns into who did what, who gained weight, or who failed at something, it slowly poisons relationships. People begin to pull away, not because they don't care, but because they start to fear being the next topic. This habit often develops from loneliness or the need to feel connected. Talking about others creates a false sense of closeness, but in truth, it builds invisible walls. Over time, gossip can isolate you more than any physical distance ever could. Instead, try steering conversations toward kindness. The next time gossip begins, gently say, "Let's talk about something positive." Discuss a happy memory, a new recipe, or something you recently learned. You'll notice how the atmosphere changes, lighter, warmer, more human. People are naturally drawn to those who lift others up, not tear them down. By choosing compassion over criticism, you not only protect your relationships, you protect your peace. Ugly habit. 12. Losing patience with technology or change technology can feel like a constant storm. New phones, confusing apps and endless passwords. For many older adults, it's not just frustrating. It can feel like the world is moving too fast and leaving them behind. That frustration often shows up as irritation or refusal. "I don't need all this nonsense." But underneath that reaction is something deeply human, the fear of feeling dependent or irrelevant. When seniors lose patience with technology, they unintentionally close doors to connection. Video calls with grandchildren, online doctor visits, or even simple text messages become harder. Loved ones might stop trying to teach or include you, not because they don't care, but because they sense your resistance. The truth is, curiosity keeps the mind young. You don't have to master everything. Just stay open. Ask for help with patience and humor. Show me again. I'm still learning. Every time you embrace a new skill, you strengthen not only your brain but your bonds with those you love. The world will keep changing, but a curious spirit never grows old. Stay open, stay learning, and you'll find that technology isn't a wall. It's a bridge. What to do instead? Habits that draw people closer. Here's the beautiful truth. The same years that make us slower can also make us softer, wiser, and more deeply connected if we choose awareness over pride. The habits that quietly push others away all have gentler opposites that pull people closer. Instead of constantly talking about pain, share gratitude for small joys. It uplifts everyone. Rather than correcting others, listen with curiosity. People feel valued when they're heard, not judged. Mix your stories of the past with questions about the present. It keeps conversations alive and balanced. Accept help graciously. It makes others feel useful and strengthens trust. Keep family matters private and replace gossip with kind words that heal. Speak calmly, even when tired or in pain. Your gentleness becomes your strength. Stay clean and take pride in your appearance. It's a reflection of self-respect, not vanity. When faced with change or new technology, don't resist. Explore. Curiosity is a form of love. It shows you still care about life. In the end, aging gracefully isn't about avoiding wrinkles or pretending to be young. It's about becoming the kind of person whose presence feels like peace. Self-awareness, humility, and kindness are the true magnets of the heart, and they only grow stronger with age. If this video spoke to you, take a moment to reflect. Which of these habits do you see in yourself or someone you love? Awareness is the first step toward change, and your growth can inspire others. So if you found this message meaningful, please subscribe to Wisdom in Old Age, a place where we talk honestly, gently, and with respect about life after 60. Growing older is not the same as growing colder. Growing older is a gift, but it's also a test of the heart. With every wrinkle and ache comes a choice, to grow softer or colder, to close off or to open wider. The truth is, people remember how you make them feel far more than what you say or do. You don't lose your light with age. It only dims when you stop sharing warmth. So keep your kindness alive, your curiosity awake, and your heart gentle. Because the most beautiful elders aren't the ones who've lived the longest, they're the ones who've stayed loving the deepest. Thank you for spending your time with Wisdom in Old Age. Keep growing, keep learning, and most of